Hey, what's up guys? How you doing? It's me, Mr. 4K Upscaler. This video, obviously, looking at the title of the video, you can tell it's going to be about me showing you a 60 frames per second frame rate with all of the filters on, graphical filters on, GPU from NVIDIA, 1080, everything will be maximized on. And just to show you right here, let's go to the option. Let's go to the video. Everything is set to the high. Ultra, there's ultra, on. So everything is set to maximum. Now resolution is going to be 1080. That's what I'm testing here on this capture video. I will do 4K later on. I'm running this on the Alienware laptop, Alienware 17. I do have Aurora R6. I will be testing that as well. I am running this on the Intel Core i7 7th generation, which is the high-end i7 processor. And I also have 32 gigs of DDR4 RAM onboard memory. I got 256 gigabyte SSD drive, which really helps. And of course, GeForce GTX 1080, 8 gigabytes GDDR5 RAM. So that's in a nutshell what I'm running this on. It's a very powerful beastie laptop. It's a powerhouse. It also has the amplifier that you can use, and you can use the external graphics card if you choose to do so, which is a cool addition as well. So as you can see, everything is set to maximum. And the whole point of this video, it's going to be for me to show you what you can expect to see graphically come this November from the Xbox One X update for the Forza 6. Okay? There it is. I will leave a frame rate per second on the top middle screen. So you have to look on the top middle screen when you're watching this video. And also keep in mind, this video is being captured 60 frames per second. So on your YouTube, you will need to go to the settings and select 1080p 60 frames per second. Okay, so let's exit. It's been about 2 minutes 37 seconds. I'm gonna go ahead and choose a free play. We're gonna select a different car. I'm gonna go with something more, let's see, Lamborghini, Ferrari, Ford. I'll go with a Chevy Camaro. No, that's a DLC. I cannot use that. I'll just go with a 2013 McLaren P1. We'll go with that. And we're going to use Circuit des Spa Francorchamps. We'll use that. And it's going to be during the rain. So let's go ahead and let's do this. It's already been 3 minutes and 28 seconds. Let's continue. And Circuit des Spa should be right here. Hold on. We'll choose the rain. The reason I'm choosing rain because I want to stress test the graphics on this PC. Now let's race. Let's see how well it runs. Make sure you select 60 frames per second, 1080p 60 on your YouTube video. And make sure you keep an eye on the top center of the video. That's where you will see the frames per second being displayed on this video. Graphically, it's looking outstanding, obviously. Now let's start race. So this is pretty much what you're going to be looking at with the Xbox One X graphics wise. There's the frame rates on the top center, and it's running at steady 60 frames per second. No problem. No issues here whatsoever. It's running smooth. Oh, 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 oh. I gotta watch for them puddles. Let's rewind. I gotta watch for them puddles. You know, there's a lot of rain here, and there's a bunch of puddles. So here we go. As you can see, 60 frames per second, steady 60 frames per second. No issues whatsoever here. Run smooth. Let's look it from this side. So graphic wise, I think this is what you're going to be looking at on the Xbox One X, on top of the native 4K HDR. And all of that for $500. So, you know, this is what I was talking about. People need to ask themselves one serious question. Whether you are a fanboy or not a fanboy, how about just somebody who is a tech geek, you know, somebody who's into technical stuff? Wouldn't you say, considering what the Xbox One X is going to offer technically and graphically and resolution wise, don't you think that $500 is worth it? And that's the only question I would pose to all of these fanboys. Alright, let's get a little bit closer here. Let's go inside. And if you look at the frame rate on the top, it's constantly at 60 frames per second. Doesn't skip a beat. Now, is Xbox... See, I cannot tell you for sure that the Xbox One X will be running like this steadily, because you remember, you're looking at a native 4K resolution. I'm gonna test and check and see how this runs on a native 4K. I will hook it up to my 4K television, and I'm gonna see also how well it runs. And I know some of you are going to say, well, don't you think this is not fair? It's not a fair comparison because you're rocking a i7 processor, 7th generation, brand spanking new. You're rocking 32 gigs of GDDR4 RAM. You're rocking a 1080 GTX, 8 gigs of GDDR5 RAM. You got 256 gigabyte SSD drive. Well, yeah, of course. One would say it's not fair, but I'm just trying to give you a glimpse of what you can expect to see from the Xbox One X in terms of graphics come this November. There will be an update for Forza 6, Forza Horizon 3, and Gears of War 4. They're all going to have that update. They're all going to support native 4K HDR. Now, is it going to be running at the steady 60 frames with everything on? I'm sure it will. If they're able to have Forza 7 run steady 60 frames per second, then I don't see any reason why this cannot run at steady 60 frames per second. And another thing I want to talk about, here I am with this Alienware 17 laptop, and this will run you close to $2,000 roughly. $1,800 to $2,000. That's a lot of money, right? That's a lot of money just to have this sort of experience, right? Minus no 4K player, right? So with the Xbox One X, not only do you get a 4K streaming, not only do you get, now I'm starting to sound like Christopher Walken. Anyway, not only do you get all of that, but at the same time, you get a native 4K HDR gaming with Dolby Atmos. This is something to think about, people. This is something that people need to give a serious thought on that. Even if you're a fanboy, you should ask yourself, man, I have a 4K TV. I have a kick-ass 4K OLED HDR TV. Why shouldn't I feed it with something that's $500? I'm gonna have my 4K Blu-ray built into it. I'll have my Dolby Atmos built into it. I'll have HDR native 4K gaming. All of my existing Xbox games will run faster, smoother. All of the Xbox games will take the advantage of the graphical capabilities and the powerhouse that the Xbox has. Well, why wouldn't I take the advantage of that for $500? That's what I talk about when I talk about the value. And that's what people don't seem to understand. There's a value right there, technical value. Even Phil Spencer said on his interview, he said, hey, look, he says I own a PlayStation 4 Pro, and I do play Horizon Zero Dawn. He said all that. He has it. He has PlayStation 4 Pro and Nintendo Switch. And he said, I have nothing against what Sony is doing with checkerboarding. It is still a 4K, but it's a checkerboarding 4K. I want to give people a full out native 4K. I want to give people a true 4K box. I want to do it this way. I want to go all the way, you know, for $500. And that's the difference. Granted, yes, we all understand Sony has more exclusives, but all of these exclusives are not coming till next year, like a third quarter or fourth quarter. I mean, who the hell knows if you're gonna be alive by then, man? Till those goddamn exclusives comes out. The only exclusive you're gonna be seeing coming out this year is Gran Turismo Sport, and Gran Turismo Sport gonna be face to face against Forza 7. And I'm kind of happy that they're both being released at the same time in October, and then come November we'll be able to put side by side Forza 7 and Gran Turismo Sport and see which one looks the better. Alright, let's do some replay here. I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna exit out of here, and we're gonna do some replay. As you can see, it runs smooth, no issues whatsoever, man. It runs smooth as a butter. Look at that rain. I'm even doing this on purpose like this because I want you to see how fast this is. It's run really smooth, really fast, no issues. Now I'm gonna turn back to I'm gonna exit this, I'm gonna quit the race, and then I'm gonna go back to replay. Okay, let me go to view replay. Let me click on it, and we're gonna watch it from this point of view. I'm gonna change the camera type. I'm gonna use the slow spin. This is one of my favorite. And then we're gonna look at that. Just look at this. Hold on. Look at this graphical detail. The reflection. Just look at that. Just look how smooth that is. Just look at that smoothness right here. Graphical smoothness in detail. On 4K HDR, this is gonna look sickening. I don't think you guys understand. For those of you who are bashing Xbox One X, I don't think you understand how beautiful this will look on your C7 OLED TV. This will look fantastic, man. With HDR, native 4K, all of these graphical filters on. Oh, you guys have no idea, man. just how beautiful this will look. And this is Forza 6. I don't even want to know how Forza 7 is going to be on the OLED TV, on the C7 OLED TV. I don't even want to think about that right now. This looks stunning, man. Simply stunning. And I'm doing this purposely just so you can see the detail. That's why I'm capturing this. Look at the asphalt. Look at that asphalt, man. Just look at the detail on that asphalt. I'm doing this purposely in a slow motion so you guys can see all of this detail in 1080p 60 on your cell phone or on your laptop or on your television. Or look at the raindrops, every and each raindrop. Look at that, every and each raindrop. You can see it right here on the left side of the tarmac. The reflection, the raindrops, the exhaust blowing out the fumes, everything, man. And then you put the HDR with the native 4K on top of this and you're in heaven. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and change the I want to click on the car close right here. I'm going to spin it around like this, 360, to show you a better viewing on it. And just look how fast this is, man. Look at this. Look at this. That's the kind of speed you'll be looking at here. Let's do a car close. Let's do a wheel. This is a good one right here on the wheel. I like this one as well. I mean, just look at all this detail, man. Come on, man. Look at this. Yes. Also, I forgot to mention, you will be able to capture on the Xbox One X to your DVR. You will be able to capture the entire native 4K 60 frames per second video and record that video and then upload that video to YouTube. So finally now the Xbox One X will give everybody a chance to upload native 4K captures. And still somehow the $500 is too expensive. You know, it's funny, people talk about how expensive the Xbox One X and all this other trash. Let me tell you something, everybody. You shouldn't worry about $500. You will have that $500 come November. What you should worry about is the fact that the Xbox One X will be in shortage. Good luck if you can buy one, unless you're willing to spend $1,000 on eBay, because you know everybody will be standing in line buying 2 or 3 Xbox One X's and then selling it for a higher price on eBay. Let's say somebody buys 3 consoles. That's $1,500. Well, they only spend $1,500, but they'll be able to sell those 3 Xbox One X's each for $1,500, and they'll be making $5,000 on top of that. Think about that. But not actually $5,000, $4,500, $4,000, close to $4,500 on top of $1,500. So you shouldn't worry about $500. You should worry about the pre-orders. And look what happens once the pre-orders become available. It will be sold out. It will be sold out immediately. And yet everybody's bitching about the price. Hypocrisy at its worst level. So yes, you're going to be enjoying graphically something like this, plus native 4K, high dynamic range, yeah, and full speed. There. I mean, I don't know what else I can say, except, look, I know that this PC, it's a beast. It's fully loaded, so of course it can handle graphically anything I throw at it. However, I'm just trying to give you a little glimpse of what you're going to be seeing graphically on the Xbox One X. Something close to this, basically. Alright, so let me exit out of here, and let me end this video. Make sure you check 1080p60 on the settings, type of resolution settings on your video on YouTube. Now, when the video first uploads, it will take some time for it to process, but once the video is processed, you will be able to check 1080p60. Or if you have it set on automatic, it will automatically display 1080p60 on your YouTube video. Alright, so there you have it. Hopefully you guys like this video, and I'm going to try to do a 4K version of this. I'm going to try to hook it up to my 4K TV to see how well it looks, how well it runs. I might do that tomorrow, we'll see. But for right now, hopefully you enjoyed this video, and thank you for watching. I appreciate it, and have a good one. There you have it. Take care.